Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, it's Arts and Esso and welcome to the 7th speed paint video of my Pride Month series. This is going to be the last drawing and video of this series. I had hoped to get more done this Pride Month, but I actually sprained my hand this last week, so I actually can't draw for a week or so, and it's honestly killing me. But honestly, it all works out because it helps today land on a really good and interesting drawing. I think a perfect end to this Pride Month series. Today's drawing is another recommendation from a friend of mine named Jen, and this figure is actually a pretty important figure in LGBTQ+ history. So today's drawing and video, the last in this Pride Month 2018 series, is on Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk was an American politician and the first openly gay elected official in the history of California, where he was elected to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. In his early years, he served in the U.S. Navy before working at a Wall Street investment firm. He kept his homosexuality a secret at first, not really letting himself be openly gay until his exposure to New York City's incredible bohemian theater scene. It was after moving to San Francisco in the early 1970s that Milk established himself as a leading political activist for the gay community. A financial analyst by day, he joined friends to march in protest of the Vietnam War while enjoying the city's thriving gay social scene after hours. Milk would later open up a camera shop on Castro Street, which was the heart of the gay community at the time. In 1973, he decided to run for a seat in the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. The race helped him gain many supporters, and due to his charisma, energy, and natural political skills, Milk was soon known as the Mayor of Castro Street. He, however, didn't quite make the cut and had quite a few campaign defeats, but it didn't stop him. He later founded the San Francisco Gay Democratic Club to garner more political support, and successfully pushed for a reorganization of the Board of Supervisors election from a citywide at-large format to a geographical district format. 4 years later, in 1977, Milk campaigned yet again and broadened his appeal to more than just the gay community through tackling important issues of tax reform and low-income housing. That year, Milk finally made history by becoming one of the country's first openly gay elected officials. He dove right in by pushing a bill to ban discrimination in employment and housing based on one's sexual orientation. This actually, of course, passed with only one opposing vote, that of Dan White, who we will unfortunately return to later. One of Milk's biggest battles was in 1978 when something called Proposition 6 was introduced. This sought to ban homosexual teachers or anyone supporting gay rights from teaching in public California schools. This was of course met with huge outcry, and Milk spent over half a year campaigning heavily against this initiative. In a huge victory, Proposition 6 was defeated by more than 1 million votes that November, and this was a great triumph in a promising career. But it sadly would soon be cut short. Remember Dan White? Well, on November 27, 1978, the then former supervisor crept into City Hall with a revolver. He was bitter because he was denied reinstatement to the board, and after killing the then mayor, Mayor Moscone, he then went straight to Harvey Milk's office and let off 5 shots, unfortunately murdering Milk in cold blood. A peaceful candlelight vigil was held outside the City Hall that night. And despite the heinous crime and quick apprehension of White, he was only sentenced to less than 8 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter. Of course, people were enraged. Outraged protesters stormed City Hall shortly after, lighting police cars on fire and starting on full-on riots due to the injustice. The San Francisco Police Department then responded by destroying gay bars and abusing the patrons. At least 120 people were injured in these riots, later dubbed the White Night Riots. This is kind of really truly a sad and bleak end to Harvey Milk's story, but you know, the thing is, his story never really stopped. It's still going. Milk's time as in the public eye was an incredibly important mark in the battle for gay rights. He inspired other politicians to come out. His name has been attached to schools, public centers, and other important buildings all over California. In 2009, his birthday was formally recognized in California's Harvey Milk Day, and then he was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Obama himself. Harvey Milk's legacy soldiers on. His hope for the future and willingness to speak out in a world that can be unforgiving and unloving, his strive to enforce a change in how others see the gay community, all of it helped to build the foundation we have today for a more loving and accepting world. Though we have very far to go in the world of gay rights, we must just go by one of his own quotes: "Hope will never be silent," meaning we keep working progressively as he did, and as we all have in the past, until there is not one country or one speck of land in this world that you have to be afraid of being who you are. That being said, I think this drawing is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna leave things at that. So here's the finished drawing. You can see it in better quality on my Instagram or DeviantArt account. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for following me on my Pride Month series. I'm so sorry I didn't get to do as many as I originally planned, and I would love to make this an annual series. I've learned a lot from doing these, and I have a lot of fun making these. With Pride Month now at a close, please remember that every month is Pride Month. You don't need to only have pride in who you are 1 month out of the entire year. Please love yourself and who you are, no matter what your sexual orientation or gender identity is. No matter what, I love you all, and I hope you have an awesome day.